The episode kicks off in another world, where a cat-girl warrior is seen fighting the Demon King. The Demon King launches a powerful attack on her, but a healer nearby quickly heals her wounds. Then, a dark elf mage appears and begins casting a powerful spell. Just then, the main character, Hinata, grabs his sword and charges at the Demon King for a final strike. With one powerful blow, he defeats the Demon King. Yes, the main villain is taken down in the very first episode. As the Demon King perishes, the darkness spread across the land also begins to fade. The girls who fought alongside him cheer with joy. This is when we first hear the main character's name, Hinata. Suddenly, a bright light begins to shine around him. Hinata realizes it's probably time for him to return to the real world. After all, he only came to this world to defeat the Demon Lord. Now that his mission is complete, he starts saying goodbye to everyone. The dark elf, clearly emotional, steps forward. She seems about to say something very serious, her eyes welling up with emotion. Then, out of nowhere, she grabs Hinata and reminds him of a promise. He had said that once he defeated the Demon Lord, he would marry her. Just like that, the serious atmosphere shifts into something absurdly comical. The other girls jump in, saying he can't just go off like that. The dark elf, hurt, asks if Hinata hates her. He quickly assures her that's not true, but the dark elf begins crying and insists that he must marry her. She throws a fit, refusing to let go. Hinata explains that he met Maria, the dark elf, in the other world, and that she's honestly really sweet. But as he speaks, his body begins to glow. He's being transported back to Earth. Maria becomes even more emotional, while the rest of the group, though sad, smile for him. His friends urge Maria to see him off with a smile, not tears. Hinata wipes away Maria's tears and promises her that they will definitely meet again someday. Then he vanishes and returns to his real world. As he disappears, Maria cries out one final message: "Don't worry, I'll find you, no matter what it takes." Hinata wakes up in bed, back in his room on Earth. He gets ready and heads to school, trying to adjust to normal life again. He even takes a test in class, but everything feels strange and surreal. After school, a girl named Sakura approaches him and chats briefly. She says goodbye, planning to meet again tomorrow. Meanwhile, Hinata arrives home. As he walks into his room, a glowing magic circle suddenly appears, filling the space with light. Maria bursts out of the portal, excited beyond belief. She immediately jumps on Hinata, shouting his name again and again. She tells him just how much she missed him, and how difficult even a single day was without him. She's all over him, so excited that she won't even let him speak. She hugs him tightly, acting overly affectionate, and then casually declares that they'll now live together and get married. Without giving him a moment to breathe, she asks him straight up, "So, how many kids do you want?" Hinata, overwhelmed, just gasps, "Can I at least catch my breath first?" After that, Maria continued talking excitedly. Then he asked how she even managed to get here, and if her arrival might have caused any problems in her world. Maria, however, was completely unfazed. She said she didn't care about the consequences. Just being able to see him again made everything worth it. She explained that after the Demon Lord was defeated, peace had returned to their world, but things started to feel dull and empty. She missed Hinata deeply, and without him, her life felt incomplete. Now that she could see him again, she was truly happy. She added that she wouldn't let anyone or anything come between their love, not even a whole different world. She had crossed dimensions just to be with him, and now they'd be together forever. As she said that, the intense emotional atmosphere shifted to a more peaceful, calm vibe, almost as if the entire room had settled down. Hinata couldn't help but wonder what had just happened. But before he could think too much, Maria once again clung tightly to him. Hinata, overwhelmed, asked how her mood could change so fast. Maria giggled and explained that using so much magic had left her really hungry. So, the two of them sat down for a meal. As they ate, Maria complimented the food, saying it tasted amazing. Hinata smiled, reminiscing about the old days when they used to eat together. He admitted that after returning to the real world, he often felt lonely. But now that Maria was here again, he was truly happy. He was about to thank her, but Maria stopped him mid-sentence, saying he didn't need to thank her. Just being with him again was more than enough for her. Then Maria declared that she was going to stay here permanently. Hinata was shocked. She told him she would take care of all the housework and look after him, and that he wasn't allowed to refuse. Hinata, still stunned, said there was no way he could turn her down. Maria added that since she didn't exist in this world, she'd need his full support. Hinata couldn't help but laugh, and Maria asked why he was suddenly laughing. He replied that she'd never acted like this before. After that, he started washing the dishes while Maria suggested they go take a bath together. Hinata hesitated and told her to go alone, but Maria pleaded with him until he gave in, and so the two of them ended up bathing together, where Maria, clearly overjoyed, thoroughly enjoyed the moment. Hinata couldn't help but compliment Maria's beautiful hair. In response, Maria smiled and said her mother had the same kind of hair, soft, shiny, and just as lovely. She ended up praising herself a little too. Meanwhile, Hinata kept admiring her in his mind, completely mesmerized by her beauty. Maria then revealed that she never let anyone else touch her hair, only Hinata. Hearing that made Hinata blush, and he gently began washing her hair. Maria clearly enjoyed the moment, smiling as he did it. After a while, Maria announced, "Okay, I'm all done. Now it's your turn to bathe, and I'll be washing you." Hinata immediately panicked, insisting that it wasn't necessary and he could manage on his own. But Maria, now a bit too close for comfort, wouldn't back off. Hinata was flustered, and in the very next scene, he was shown fainting from embarrassment and collapsing on the floor. As he lost consciousness, Hinata muttered that she really didn't need to do all of that. Maria was a bit surprised at his reaction, but quickly shifted into teasing mode. "All right then," she said playfully. "Let me fix your mood instead." Hinata tried to run away, again repeating that she didn't need to go that far. But in the rush, he accidentally hit his head against the wall and passed out again. The next scene showed him lying on Maria's lap. She gently held him and said she'd gotten really scared when he collapsed like that. She asked him not to act so recklessly again. Then, Maria began complimenting Hinata's hair in return, saying she really liked how it looked. Hinata thanked her, but Maria continued, reminding him of the time he'd said her hair looked like the moon. "Your hair," she added, "is like the sun, and the moon and sun are incomplete without each other. That's why I'll never let you go. If I ever lose you again, I honestly don't know what I'd do." In the final scene, Hinata narrated that he met Maria Bella, a dark elf in another world, and now they were living together. She had a pure heart, a kind soul, and on top of that, she was incredibly cute. And with that, the episode came to an end. The episode begins with Hinata explaining how Maria had once again rolled off the bed this morning. He helped her up and gently told her to go change while he prepared breakfast. After they finished eating, Hinata got ready for school. Before he left, Maria asked if he was going to leave her all alone at home again. Hinata replied that ever since she arrived in this world, she hadn't stepped outside. She just stayed home and read books. He gently suggested that she should go out once in a while and explore the world around her. Meeting new people and seeing new places might help her better understand this world. Maria admitted that, in theory, it wasn't a bad idea, but suddenly going out into the human world as a dark elf might create problems. After all, she'd definitely stand out. Then she got a bit more emotional, saying she really liked Hinata and would do anything for him. All she asked in return was a little of his time. Hearing this, Hinata softened and apologized for pushing her. But out of nowhere, Maria snapped into her intense mode. She hugged him so tightly he could barely breathe. Hinata gasped and begged her to let go since he was already running late for school. Cut to the next scene. Hinata's on his way to school with a strange pink glow on his head. It turns out Maria had secretly cast a spell on him, something we'll learn more about soon. Later at the school library, Hinata was picking out books for Maria. He figured that if she wasn't ready to go outside yet, at least he could bring the outside world to her through reading. While deep in thought, Sakura showed up and called out his name loudly, startling him. He quickly apologized, explaining he was lost in his thoughts. Sakura noticed the pile of books and asked about it. Hinata was about to mention the dark elf, but changed course and told her a friend was staying at his place, and she really enjoyed reading Japanese books. Sakura listened carefully and seemed curious. Meanwhile, we see Maria back at home, reading a book, but her thoughts drift back to Hinata. She began craving more time with him. Her obsessive side flared up again, and she started talking to herself, urging Hinata to return home quickly. She was feeling restless, and even started playing with a doll that resembled Hinata. Then Maria said something strange. If she had the option, she'd like to test Hinata. She clapped her hands, summoning a magical artifact, that same spell she used earlier. The one responsible for the pink glow on Hinata's head was now being activated for a specific purpose. Using her magic, she managed to see Hinata through some sort of magical surveillance. What she saw made her furious. Hinata and Sakura were in a rather awkward position, likely from a clumsy fall. Sakura was blushing hard and kept apologizing, saying she tripped while reaching for a book. Hinata reassured her, saying it was just an accident and there was no need to apologize. As they put the books back together, Sakura told him he was really kind and always helping others. Hinata humbly denied it, saying he was only helping because he genuinely respected her. Their conversation flowed naturally, and at one point, Hinata said he was heading to the supermarket. Sakura asked if he enjoyed grocery shopping, catching Hinata off guard. He blushed and nervously replied that he'd see her tomorrow, then quickly left. Maria had been watching all of this from home. Her anger was building rapidly. Later, Hinata returned home. The house was eerily dark, and he was confused about what was going on. Suddenly, Maria's voice cut through the silence. She demanded to know who the girl was. was. Hinata, still unsure what she was talking about, asked which girl she meant. Maria, now furious, snapped and warned him not to play dumb. Just then, Hinata noticed the talisman and grew furious. Maria began to plead, saying she loved him deeply, and accused him of betraying her. She then declared that from now on, she'd accompany him to school every day to make sure no other girl could get close to him. She said wasting time at home was pointless, and if anyone even tried to approach Hinata, she wouldn't spare them. Hinata was genuinely scared by her intense behavior, but Maria tried to reassure him, saying she'd protect him no matter what. Hinata, overwhelmed, couldn't help but wonder what was even happening in his life. The next day, Maria appeared at school and confidently introduced herself to the class, claiming she came from another world and her name was Maria. Naturally, the whole class assumed she was just doing some elaborate cosplay. Everyone in class started gossiping about Maria, and Hinata was both surprised and concerned. Maria lovingly tried to feed Hinata lunch at school, but he told her there was no need to act like that in public. Since she was finally out of the house, he encouraged her to make some new friends and interact with others, but Maria admitted that she wasn't interested in anyone else. As long as she was with Hinata, she was happy. That made Hinata wonder what kind of girl she really was. Her behavior was just so intense. Just then, Sakura approached them and asked Hinata if the books he borrowed yesterday were for Maria. She then turned to Maria and tried to start a friendly conversation, saying Hinata had told her a lot about her. However, Maria suddenly began eyeing Sakura suspiciously, trying to figure out what was so special about her that made Hinata talk to her so openly. Fueled by jealousy, Maria prepared to cast a magical spell on Sakura and declared to herself that she wouldn't tolerate anyone coming between her and Hinata. But right before she could act, Hinata stopped her and demanded to know what she was trying to do. Maria, shocked at her own behavior, apologized and warned him to stay away from her, saying even he could be in danger. With tears in her eyes, she ran off, and Hinata followed her. On the rooftop, Maria broke down and apologized again. She said she had been scared that if someone else got too close to Hinata, she might lose him, and that fear had driven her to act irrationally. Hinata realized that while he had only wanted Maria to feel more comfortable in this world, things had clearly spiraled out of control. Just then, Sakura arrived and calmly said she wanted to talk to Maria. Maria immediately began apologizing. Sakura, however, gently asked her to be honest. Had she really used magic earlier? At that moment, Sakura had an oddly cute yet mysterious expression on her face. Sakura then asked Maria with a curious yet sincere expression, "Were you really not lying? Are you truly from another world?" She went on to explain that she'd read tons of manga about elves, magic, and other worlds, but she never imagined she'd actually meet someone like Maria in real life. She apologized for everything that had happened earlier and asked if Maria would be willing to be her friend. Sakura promised she wouldn't tell anyone about Maria's secret and confessed that when Maria first introduced herself to the class, it made her wonder, could elves actually be real? She began complimenting Maria, saying her hair was beautiful and her skin looked flawless. She kept admiring her non-stop, and then with an eager expression, begged Maria to become her friend. Maria was genuinely surprised by Sakura's kindness. Then, noticing Sakura's sad expression, she began to remember her own past, how, in the other world, no one ever tried to talk to her or befriend her. That memory weighed heavy on her heart, but suddenly, Maria burst out laughing and called, "Sakura truly strange, in a good way." She introduced herself properly once again and said, "Yes, I'd love to be your friend." Hearing this, Sakura lit up with joy. She immediately asked Maria to tell her everything about her world, what kinds of things existed there, what sort of magic she could use, and everything else. Maria laughed and told her to be patient, saying she'd explain it all slowly, bit by bit. Then, playfully tugging on Sakura's cheeks, Maria joked that her cheeks were really soft. Watching them bond, Hinata felt genuinely happy. He thought to himself that at least now, Maria had made one friend here. And with that, this episode came to an end. The episode opens with Maria trying her hand at volleyball, but clearly she had no clue how to play. The ball kept hitting her repeatedly. Sakura, watching this scene unfold, looked genuinely concerned and asked if she was all right. However, Maria snapped back in frustration. Maria explained that she recently found out how important academics and sports are in this world. Sakura added that they were in the middle of gym class, so participating was mandatory. Determined to improve, Maria went to Hinata and asked him to teach her. Hinata reassured her, saying she wasn't as bad as she thought and that he believed she'd get better in no time. Suddenly, something sparked in Maria. She activated her magic and confidently declared she'd show everyone how well she could play. From that moment, her performance drastically improved, going from clumsy beginner to top-tier player, easily defeating everyone on the court. But Hinata quickly realized she was using magic. In the middle of the game, Maria twisted her ankle. Hinata rushed to her and asked if she was okay. Though Maria insisted she was fine, Hinata wasn't convinced. He told her to go to the nurse's office, showing genuine concern. Maria, touched by his care, smiled softly. Hinata also suggested she inform the teacher before leaving. Meanwhile, Sakura looked on from a distance, clearly uneasy. Later, Hinata wrapped a bandage around Maria's ankle and apologized, feeling guilty. But Maria insisted it wasn't his fault. In fact, she said she felt lucky. This gave her a chance to spend time alone with him. Hinata admitted he didn't like seeing her get hurt and blushed. Maria thanked him, saying she'd be fine as long as he stayed by her side. She then got serious and said she wanted him to always be with her and never leave. Hinata agreed, though he couldn't help but think how intense she could get sometimes. Maria then brought up something she'd heard, that Hinata had a spell that could make a pen disappear. She asked if he was using magic again. Hinata joked around, but Maria suddenly got angry. She scolded him and, pretending to be in great pain, accused him of being the reason she got hurt. She warned that if he didn't take care of her, she could even tell on him. Seeing her act upset, Hinata gave in and agreed to use his magic. Maria extended her injured leg, and to his surprise, Hinata leaned in and kissed it. So that was the magic she had in mind. Maria clearly enjoyed it and asked him to kiss her more. Hinata continued kissing her leg and complimented how soft and beautiful they were. Then, Maria told him to kiss her stomach too, and Hinata didn't hesitate to do that either. Things were definitely heating up between them, and just before anything more could happen, Sakura walked in. She came to help Maria change clothes, but was stunned and blushing furiously after catching the two in a compromising situation. Without saying much, she ran away. Hinata quickly followed her, likely to explain, but Sakura wasn't in the mood to listen. She ran off right away. Meanwhile, Maria was absolutely furious. She was thinking, we were just about to have a moment together, and because of her, it all got ruined. In the next scene, all three of them are shown at a shopping mall. Sakura was there to do some shopping, while Maria was still upset with Hinata. She complained, I thought we were here on a date, so why is she tagging along? Hinata tried to explain, actually, we're here to shop for you, and since I'm a guy, I don't really know what suits you best, so I brought someone experienced along, Sakura. Hearing that, Maria's mood lightened. Then, Sakura handed Maria some inner outfits to try on. Maria tried them out, and Sakura commented that they looked really good on her. Maria then insisted Sakura try on a few outfits too. Although Sakura complied, she was visibly flustered and blushing. Maria even told her she looked beautiful in those clothes, but Sakura admitted she felt pretty embarrassed. Afterward, Sakura said she wanted to know Hinata's opinion as well. She walked over to him, and Hinata was left speechless, clearly embarrassed after seeing her. Maria laughed and said there was no need to be so shy, and asked Hinata to share his opinion. But the moment got a bit awkward, and the atmosphere changed. The scene then shifted to a cafe where they all sat down for coffee. They chatted about how fun the shopping trip had been. Hinata excused himself to go to the restroom, and while he was away, Sakura suddenly said she wanted to ask Maria a question. She hesitated for a moment, then asked, Are you and Hinata dating? Maria responded, Not exactly. I wouldn't call it dating, but why are you asking this? Sakura began blushing and quickly brushed off the question, saying, Forget it, it's nothing. Then Maria started opening up about her past. She explained that Hinata was like a fated person in her life. In the past, she had been captured and treated like a prisoner by humans. But one day, Hinata came and rescued her from that terrible situation. From that moment, Maria decided she would devote her life to Hinata and never leave his side. Maria then smiled and said it was nice to hear that Sakura liked Hinata too, but she added, That means I'll have to try even harder now. Maria then asked, Did you just say something? Sakura, flustered, quickly replied, No, nothing at all. Just then, Hinata returned, and they all continued chatting. By now, it was getting late. Sakura said goodbye and left for home. Maria was about to leave too, but Hinata stopped her and said he wanted to take her somewhere before they headed back. He took her to a lake, and the view mesmerized Maria. Hinata praised the beauty of the place, saying it was truly peaceful. Maria replied that she knew he would understand. Being in nature always brought her comfort. Hinata then suddenly apologized. He said he had asked her so many things earlier without considering her feelings, and then, out of nowhere, he gently kissed her on the cheek, saying, This is something I forgot to do this morning. It was left incomplete. Maria grabbed him by the collar with her hair and said, That's not enough. You owe me more than that. From now on, I want your eyes only on me, and mine will always be on you. The two were about to kiss when suddenly they were ambushed. A voice echoed, Finally, we found you! You've changed so much, Maria. And Lord Hinata, it's a pleasure to see you again. It was then revealed that the intruders were Mia and Cecily, Sakura's teammates from the other world. Maria asked, Why are you here? Both Hinata and Maria were stunned. Cecily replied coldly, We're here to take you back. And with that, the episode came to an end. The episode kicks off with Cecily explaining that she had come to take Maria back. Maria, on the other hand, was absolutely furious. After all, she'd gotten really close to Hinata and was about to kiss him when Cecily suddenly appeared and ruined the moment. Her frustration was obvious. obvious, and Hinata got nervous seeing her so worked up. Cecily tried to explain that she was just trying to protect Lord Hinata, claiming that the elf was about to pounce on him. Maria didn't buy it and asked Cecily what exactly she was trying to imply. May stepped in, trying to calm Maria down, saying that getting this angry wasn't helping. She even teased that private moments like the one Maria was about to have with Hinata shouldn't be done out in the open. Hadn't she seen any TV dramas? Hinata then suggested they move the conversation somewhere else. So, the group headed to his house. Maria's face clearly showed she was still annoyed. Hinata welcomed Cecily and May to his home, as it was their first time visiting. Both girls thanked him. Hinata then began explaining that Cecily was a priestess, someone who worships and serves the gods. She was also a demi-human. The girls thanked him for the coffee, and May complimented Hinata on how nice his room was. But Maria, still fuming, lashed out. She accused the girls of barging in and ruining a romantic moment between her and Hinata. Cecily fired back, saying Maria shouldn't blame her for the situation. She pointed out how dangerous it was for them to appear in the real world. People had already seen them, and if both worlds started influencing each other, it could cause chaos. She reminded them that they had been sent here by the government, and had to return soon before things spiraled out of control. May immediately apologized to Hinata, while Cecily assured him that since he'd defeated the Demon Lord, he'd probably be forgiven. But Maria wasn't having it. She accused Cecily of trying to come between her and Hinata. Cecily internally questioned whether Maria had even been listening to her. Maria, now burning with rage, activated her magical powers and used her hair like magical tendrils to bind Hinata. She declared that she wouldn't let anyone take him away. Not now, not ever. She was ready to destroy anything that stood in her way. Cecily responded sharply, asking if that's how it was going to be. Maria warned her to leave immediately, or she'd have to use force. Hinata tried to calm them down, but Maria kept ranting. She admitted she knew she didn't have much of a fan base like Cecily, but that didn't mean Cecily could act like a queen wherever she went. Cecily told her that she was completely misunderstanding things and clarified that while she respected dark elves, that respect didn't extend to Maria. The tension between the two escalated fast. Hinata was panicking, unsure how to stop the fight, while May was just sitting back, enjoying the show like it was entertainment. Both Cecily and Maria were ready to unleash their powers. May reminded Hinata of how he used to settle their fights back in the other world. That sparked an idea. As both girls powered up, preparing to attack each other, Hinata shouted at them to stop. He said he understood why Maria being in the real world could cause problems, and admitted he had been overwhelmed when she first arrived. But over time, she was accepted by the people here, and she, in turn, accepted them. More importantly, she had come here for him, and that made him genuinely happy. Hearing those words, Maria's anger vanished, and she was filled with joy. But Cecily still tried to warn him about the risks. Hinata calmly replied that no matter what problems arose, he'd take responsibility and face them himself. His sincere words made Maria fall even harder for him. Cecily, realizing she couldn't argue with Lord Hinata, simply said she wouldn't disrespect his wishes any further. Hearing all this, Cecily agrees to follow the order, which makes Hinata quite happy. However, Cecily also adds that there are certain reasons behind it. She explains that he must keep all these things in mind, and if any problems arise, she will have to take action, and he will also need to fully cooperate. At that moment, Cecily starts blushing a little. Then she says they should leave now. Both of them say goodbye and start walking away. As they're leaving, Hinata asks where exactly she's headed. Cecily explains that staying here any longer might cause some problems, so for now, they'll look for another place to stay. Hinata offers that if she ever feels like relaxing, she can come over. Cecily replies that they can't stay here too long, or it might cause trouble. Hinata doesn't fully understand what Cecily is trying to say, but she simply wishes that God protects him. After that, they both part ways. Hinata is left surprised when suddenly, Maria hugs him tightly. She says she really liked hearing his words, and that she enjoys spending time with him. She's grateful he didn't let her leave. Her words make Hinata very happy too. But just then, Maria's mood shifts, and she turns somewhat wicked. She admits she's run out of ideas, and thinks it's time they take their relationship a step further. Things start getting awkward, and Hinata tells her not to act crazy. Then he runs away. However, Maria becomes even more aggressive and manages to pin him down on the bed. Hinata tries to calm her, telling her not to behave like this. But Maria confesses she can't control herself anymore. Hinata finds himself in a very uncomfortable situation as Maria begins to move closer. But just in time, she realizes that Cecily had cast a magic spell on Hinata. Because of that, Maria's entire plan falls apart, and Cecily is shown smiling. As she leaves, Maria becomes furious at Cecily, and Hinata is left deeply embarrassed. Maria's anger only continues to grow. Hinata reflects on how close things just got and how intense the moment had become. The next day, Maria is still visibly upset. Hinata tells her not to take it too seriously, but just then, the doorbell rings. To their surprise, May and Cecily arrive at their home. May cheerfully greets them with a good morning, and both Hinata and Maria are left shocked. It turns out that May and Cecily are now their neighbors. In Japan, it's customary to bring a gift when moving into a new place, and that's what the girls had come to deliver. Maria is clearly annoyed by their arrival. Cecily explains that they've received a government order to keep an eye on both of them in case anything goes wrong. May adds that it's probably going to be pretty exciting. Meanwhile, Maria is visibly furious and starts yelling. With that, the episode ends. The episode begins with Hinata waking up, and Maria was lying very close to him. But suddenly, Cecily enters the scene and stops them, telling Maria that she shouldn't be acting like this and should keep some distance from Hinata. She firmly says she's here to keep an eye on everything, and after saying all this, Cecily leaves. May comments that Cecily has been quite busy lately. Meanwhile, Cecily heads to a hot spring to relax and says it feels great to unwind. On the other side, May begins talking about how ever since she arrived here, she even started her own YouTube channel. Surprisingly, within just a few days, she gained 100,000 subscribers and even started receiving sponsorship deals for streaming. She thanks Cecily for helping her achieve this. While all this is happening, Maria couldn't stop thinking about Hinata. Hinata, who was taking a bath, is then approached by Maria, who says she wants to bathe with him. But because of a magical barrier placed around Hinata, Maria can't get close to him. We then see Cecily's new daily routine. She's now working at an office. Every day she commutes, works hard, comes home tired, and goes straight to sleep. Maria teases her, saying that if her life has become so boring, she should just return to her real world. But Cecily firmly says she's not crazy and that she would never leave Maria behind. Then May suggests that it's time for dinner, and the four of them prepare to eat together. May, who was preparing for a live stream, announces that she's about to go live and wants to share what she's eating and doing. She appoints Hinata as the cameraman. Once the stream starts, here comes a funny twist. Sakura, who secretly has feelings for Hinata, turns out to be one of May's subscribers and is watching the stream live. May then says she's not alone this time. She has two special guests, Cecily and Maria. She introduces the delicious dinner they're about to have and shares it with her viewers. The three of them chat casually on stream, talking about food and giving their opinions. May even offers to feed Cecily herself, making the moment even more entertaining. Eventually, the live stream ends, and May thanks Hinata for helping out with the camera. She happily says that she's really enjoying this world and fitting in perfectly. Cecily reminds May not to get too carried away with her antics. Later, May and Cecily are seen bathing together, and May says she's still eager to continue streaming. Cecily asks how she decided to start streaming in the first place. May explains that after the Demon Lord's death, life started feeling empty and boring. One day, while scrolling through her phone, she came across a streamer whose videos really entertained people. Inspired by that, she decided to do the same, bring smiles to people's faces. Cecily agrees that what May is doing is meaningful, but she playfully adds that her own office work is more fun. May expresses surprise, thinking that office work would be difficult. Cecily explains that while that may be true, their actual purpose for being here was to keep an eye on Maria. So both May and Cecily admitted that they'd gotten a bit too caught up in their own lives lately, which led to them not paying enough attention to Maria. May confessed she actually felt really relaxed in this world, enjoying the calmness it offered. The two continued chatting for a while, but then suddenly realized Maria hadn't shown up all day. They started wondering where she could have gone. That's when the scene shifted to Maria, who was indeed spending time with Hinata. Ever since May and Cecily arrived, she hadn't really gotten a chance to be alone with him. Hinata then shared the real reason behind their trip. He had hoped to cheer up Cecily, as she hadn't been adjusting well to life in this new world. Maria also pointed out that back in the real world, they weren't the only ones who struggled. Hinata and Cecily had their own problems too. She said that if Cecily was going through anything, she should be able to talk to them about it. Hinata acknowledged her thoughtfulness, calling her a genuinely kind person. But then, Maria brought up how she'd noticed Hinata getting close to Cecily, warning him not to let things go too far. Hinata told her she was overthinking it, that there was nothing like that going on. Still, Maria insisted he stay by her side and tried getting close to him with a slightly suggestive tone. She even teasingly said, "If you're hungry, you can eat me instead." Catching Hinata completely off guard, she started getting clingy again, but right at that moment, Cecily walked in. Seeing Cecily made Maria furious all over again. Eventually, thanks to May's involvement, they all spent a bit of time together, and just like that, their vacation finally came to an end. May was clearly disappointed, saying this was her first vacation with Hinata and she didn't get to do anything special. Despite that, Hinata and the others reflected on how nice the hotel had been. He asked Cecily if she enjoyed it, and she replied that she did. It helped her forget the stress of her office work for a while. Then Cecily reminded everyone that they'd soon be heading back, and even suggested that Maria should come along with her. She admitted sincerely that she supported Maria and Hinata being together. This left Maria stunned, not expecting those words from Cecily. May added that she also liked seeing Maria and Hinata together. Hinata thanked her, while Maria blushed hard and silently walked away, clearly flustered. Still, deep down, she was really happy to hear those things from Cecily. And with that, the episode came to an end. The episode opens with Maria and Hinata lovingly watching over a baby as they put it to sleep. Maria, getting closer to Hinata, suggests they should plan for another baby. But just then, it's revealed that everything was just a dream. None of it was real. Maria wakes up and turns around, only to be shocked at what she sees. Hinata and Sakura holding a baby. Furious, she demands to know how this happened and confronts Sakura, accusing her of having a child with Hinata. While Hinata tries to explain, Maria refuses to listen. Eventually, the situation becomes clear. The baby is actually Sakura's aunt's daughter. Her aunt had to go out for work, so Sakura was asked to look after the baby for the day. She brought the baby over so Maria and Hinata could help her out. Hearing this, Maria apologizes for her reaction, but Hinata assures her it's not her fault. Suddenly, the baby crawls over to Maria and calls her Mama, which melts her heart. Hinata figures the baby probably sees Maria as her mom because her aunt also has long hair like Maria's. The baby then starts crying, and Sakura doesn't know what to do. Maria steps in confidently, picks up the baby, and begins to calm her down by feeding her milk. Sakura and Hinata are shocked and ask Maria what she's doing. Maria replies that she's simply trying to soothe the baby. To everyone's surprise, it works. The baby stops crying. Maria then advises Sakura to get some milk ready for the baby, and Sakura does so. Curious, Sakura asks how Maria could tell that the baby was crying out of hunger. Maria explains some baby care tips and even tells Sakura that she's welcome to help out with the baby too. This suggestion embarrasses Hinata, who quickly refuses, blushing. Sakura then gives Hinata a strange look, making him feel even more awkward, and he tells her to stop staring at him like that. Sakura, embarrassed, denies thinking anything weird. She then starts feeding the baby, who drinks a lot, clearly very hungry. After finishing, the baby wants to play. All three of them spend some fun, quality time together with the baby. Later, they take the baby out for a walk. While they're outside, a shopkeeper sees them and greets Hinata. Then, looking at the group, he jokingly asks if the baby is theirs. Embarrassed, both Hinata and Maria deny it immediately. Maria, however, doesn't seem pleased with the comment and starts feeling a little down. The shopkeeper asks if they want to buy something, but they reply that they're just out to walk the baby and will shop later. Suddenly, the baby starts crying again. Maria guesses that the baby might have peed, so she and Sakura take her to the park restroom to change her diaper. While helping out, Maria can't stop thinking about what the old man said, that the baby looked like it was theirs. The comment lingers in her mind, leaving her feeling conflicted. Maria shyly asked Sakura if she could teach her how to change the baby's diaper. Curious, Sakura asked why she wanted to learn, and Maria simply said, maybe for the future, it could be useful someday. Meanwhile, Hinata was waiting patiently outside, but then, out of nowhere, the baby accidentally peed on both girls. They weren't too surprised, it's just what babies do. After cleaning up, they successfully changed the diaper and stepped out of the restroom. Sakura noticed something was off and asked Maria if everything was all right. Maria, trying to hide her thoughts, smiled and said she was totally fine. In the next scene, since the baby had soiled them earlier, both Maria and Sakura took a shower and got changed. Later, Hinata was trying to put the baby to sleep, but wasn't having much luck. Sakura came in and asked what was going on. Hinata explained the baby just wouldn't sleep. She tried using a toy to help, but it didn't work either. The baby only cried more. That's when Maria stepped in and asked for a chance to try. She gently took the baby in her arms and began humming a lullaby. Her singing voice was so calming that the baby instantly stopped crying and eventually fell asleep. Both Hinata and Sakura were amazed by how quickly Maria managed to soothe the child. As the baby dozed off, Hinata praised Maria for being incredible. Maria quietly asked them to speak softly since the baby was sleeping. Sakura also complimented Maria, saying she'd make a great mom someday. Hearing this made Maria really happy. Soon after, while putting the baby to bed, Maria herself ended up falling asleep beside the child. Seeing this, Hinata and Sakura started preparing dinner. Hinata offered to cook, saying Maria had worked hard today and deserved a break. While cooking, Sakura began reflecting on the day and how close Maria and Hinata seemed. A hint of jealousy crept in as she thought about their bond. She finally asked Hinata directly what he felt about Maria, whether she was just a friend or more than that. Just as Hinata was about to answer, the baby woke up and Maria entered the room to get milk, interrupting the conversation. As As they fed the baby again, a funny moment occurred. When Hinata was bottle feeding, both Maria and Sakura started blushing. They began imagining themselves as a real family with Hinata as the father. Sakura pictured herself as the mother first, and then Maria had the same kind of daydream. Hinata noticed their awkward expressions and asked what was going on, but both girls denied thinking anything weird. Eventually, it was time for Sakura to leave. She thanked them for the day, but Hinata said there was no need for thanks. Maria also shared how much she enjoyed spending time with the baby. After Sakura left, Maria got close to Hinata and confessed that today made her feel really happy, and even suggested they should have a baby of their own so she could spend time like this every day. She then teasingly said she wanted to feed him like a baby, mimicking how babies drink milk. But as she said this, her demeanor became strangely intense, almost a little evil, and she added that she dreamed of having a big family with lots of children. Hearing all this left Hinata completely stunned. As the scene continued, Maria once again got very close to Hinata in a flirty way, but this time, Hinata gently pushed her away, trying to maintain some distance. Just then, Sakura walked in and saw everything. Completely shocked, she raised her voice, clearly upset by what she witnessed. And with that intense moment, the episode came to an end. The episode began with Cecily preparing for work and also making dinner. Soon after, May called Cecily to the dining table, and they both ate. Cecily remarked that the dinner was truly amazing. May then told Cecily that she had noticed how hard Cecily worked, and although she couldn't help with everything, she could certainly do this much for her. They enjoyed their meal, and afterward, Cecily left for her office. As May was about to enter her room, Maria suddenly emerged, appearing quite panicked. She repeatedly called out Hinata's name. The scene then shifted to Hinata, who was suffering from a high fever. May soon arrived and realized the severity of Hinata's fever. Maria was visibly distressed, fearing for Hinata's well-being. However, Hinata assured her that there was no need for such drama and that he only had a slight cold. May then suggested that if Cecily were there, she could easily cure Hinata with her magic. May offered to go and bring Cecily, asking them to wait. Hinata, however, insisted that she shouldn't bother Cecily as she was at work. He believed that he would recover quickly with some rest and medicine. May then advised Hinata to eat something light and asked Maria to prepare something suitable for someone with a fever. Maria, still flustered, admitted that she had never prepared such a dish before and asked May for help. May expressed her willingness to help, but explained that she had received a collaboration order, a sponsorship, and needed to shoot a video for it. Hinata seemed surprised by this news. May then revealed that she had the opportunity to collaborate with the magical girl idol, which she considered a great opportunity that would benefit her significantly. Maria, however, became upset, questioning how May could prioritize a collaboration when Hinata was so unwell. Hinata intervened, telling Maria not to bother May, as this was an excellent opportunity that May should pursue. May was delighted by Hinata's understanding and apologized for not being able to help him. Maria then sat beside Hinata, who was lying down. Hinata began to cough, and Maria anxiously asked if he needed anything, offering to help. Hinata told her to just relax and sit comfortably. Maria then apologized for not being able to do more for him, and started to act agitated. Hinata again told her to stop. Maria, however, continued to apologize profusely. Hinata reiterated that she didn't need to apologize as it wasn't a major issue, and he would recover soon. Maria then recalled May's suggestion to prepare something good for Hinata to eat. She went to check the fridge but found it completely empty. Hinata then appeared, explaining that there was a sale at the market that day, and he had planned to do all the shopping himself. Maria asked him why he was out of bed. Hinata explained that he was going shopping because he felt a bit better, though it was clear he was still unwell. Maria insisted that he wouldn't go, and she would go instead. The scene then shifted to Maria at the market. She appeared somewhat apprehensive, but then unexpectedly encountered Sakura. Sakura asked Maria why she was alone. Maria explained that Hinata had a cold, which was why she was shopping alone. Sakura was quite surprised to hear this. Maria then explained that she had come shopping with a list, but was having a lot of trouble finding things, and she was on the verge of tears. Sakura immediately reassured her, saying there was no need to cry as she was her friend and would gladly help her. Maria was delighted by this and hugged Sakura. Maria then began to buy all the items on her list. They also bought some fruits, and when Maria questioned why, Sakura explained that fruits, specifically apples, were good for a cold. The shopkeeper even gave them some extra fruits for free, stating that people should help each other. Maria was touched by this gesture and thanked him. Later, Sakura and Maria arrived at Hinata's house. Sakura checked his fever and found that it was still quite high and Hinata was asleep. Sakura then asked Maria if she had a towel or similar item. A dream sequence of Hinata's then began, in which Maria and Sakura were both present, behaving strangely with him. Hinata, being a somewhat perverted perverted person, seemed to be enjoying these unusual interactions in his dream. In the dream, both girls told him they were trying to make him feel better. Hinata initially resisted, but he was clearly having a good time. Hinata then woke up and realized that Sakura and Maria were both washing his body. He was quite surprised to see Sakura there. Maria then checked Hinata's fever and told him that he seemed to be feeling better. She then offered to bring him something to eat. Hinata apologized to Maria for causing her so much trouble. Maria insisted that he didn't need to apologize and that she was helping him because it made both her and him happy. Hinata then ate his meal, finishing it very quickly. Maria commented on how fast he had eaten his dinner. Hinata explained that he was hungry and that the food tasted exceptionally good. Sakura also remarked that Maria seemed to have cooked very well. Maria, blushing, said it wouldn't have been possible without Sakura's help. Hinata then declared that he could eat such delicious food every day. Maria blushed even more and told him not to say such things, but then added that she could cook for him every day if he wanted. Hinata denied that was the case, and their interaction became somewhat overly close, which Sakura noticed intently. Maria then told Hinata that she would get him some clothes and that he should take a bath. Hinata was then shown bathing, thinking about his strange dreams and how he had started having more dangerous ones lately. As Hinata was bathing, Maria suddenly opened the door and entered, accompanied by Sakura. Hinata was incredibly embarrassed to see both of them there and immediately ran away. Maria and Sakura then talked about Hinata and other casual topics. The scene then shifted to Cecily, who had learned about Hinata's cold from May. Cecily immediately went to visit Hinata, accompanied by May. May asked Hinata how he was feeling, and Cecily also inquired about his health. Sakura then introduced herself to both May and Cecily, stating that she was Hinata's classmate, as it was their first meeting. Sakura then recognized May and exclaimed that she watched May's live streams every day, indicating she was a big fan. Sakura continued to praise May enthusiastically and non-stop. Maria had to interject, telling Sakura to take a breath before speaking. Cecily was also surprised and amused to see a fan of May's. May, of course, was very pleased to hear Sakura's compliments. Hinata then looked at the four girls and noticed that everyone seemed very happy. He thought it was quite amusing, and with that, the episode ended. The episode began in a crowded place where girls were clamoring for new comic books. Maria was seen there in a distinctly different look. The scene then shifted to Sakura, who was working and struggling to figure out how to complete her task. Her mother told her to take a break, but Sakura replied that she would do so in a little while. However, her mother insisted she take it quickly. While bathing, Sakura was thinking about a swordsman and found it difficult to imagine him. She felt she couldn't draw a strong woman properly, and that such a character needed a good figure. Suddenly, Maria came to her mind, and Sakura then drew a picture imagining Maria, feeling quite happy with the result. She declared that it was finally complete. Later at school, Sakura discussed cosplay, mentioning an upcoming event and asking Hinata and Maria for their help. She shyly showed them a manga. Hinata and Maria wondered why she was showing them a manga, but Sakura then revealed that she had drawn it herself. Both of them were genuinely surprised and impressed, finding the manga and its characters very appealing. Sakura modestly said it wasn't that good, explaining that she loved watching anime and reading manga. Maria admitted she didn't know what it was, but found it quite interesting. Sakura excitedly shared that she had conceived a new story, a classical fantasy. She revealed that she had imagined Hinata's figure when creating her swordsman character. Hinata listened intently, appearing a bit sad. Maria then said she didn't understand it completely, but since Sakura was requesting their help so much, she was willing to assist. Hinata became even happier upon hearing this, and agreed with Maria, stating they were ready to help if Sakura needed it. Sakura then asked if they were free after school that day, and if they could come with her. In the next scene, Hinata and Maria were in Sakura's room. Maria found the room quite charming and cute, while Sakura seemed a bit embarrassed to show her home. Maria then expressed doubt about buying costumes, wondering if they would have enough money. Sakura reassured her not to worry, explaining that she was trying to make the costumes herself, though they weren't ready yet. Hinata suggested they could just go normally without elaborate costumes, but Sakura, still excited, insisted that since they were helping her so much, she should put in the effort for the costumes. Sakura then asked Maria for her measurements. Maria quickly took off her clothes, causing Hinata to immediately leave the room. After taking Maria's measurements, Sakura remarked that Maria's body was truly perfect, thinking to herself that she had never seen such a body, and that it was ideal for her swordsman character. Maria then suggested that Sakura should also cosplay. Sakura initially refused, saying she hadn't thought about it, but Maria insisted that she had to, adding that Sakura couldn't just make them work while she sat back and did nothing. Sakura, however, reassured her, saying that she would also cosplay. Funnily, Maria then began to take Sakura's body measurements. Outside, Hinata could hear their voices and wondered what they were doing for so long. Maria then announced that it was Hinata's turn. As Hinata entered, he became very embarrassed and refused to participate. The scene then fast-forwarded several days, showing them all working diligently. Finally, they arrived at the event venue. venue, feeling very excited by the large scale of the event. Sakura told them that they needed to go to the changing room to put on their costumes. In the next scene, Maria was seen in her costume, looking remarkably different and perfectly fitted. Sakura praised her, saying she looked beautiful in the outfit. Maria thanked her for the compliment and returned it, telling Sakura she looked cute as well. Hinata then appeared, dressed in a surprisingly feminine outfit. Sakura told him he looked awesome in it. Maria, initially silent, suddenly became incredibly excited, repeatedly calling out Hinata's name. She declared that she was his big sister and was going to take him somewhere fun. Hinata pleaded with her not to, saying he didn't want to go anywhere like that. Sakura was acting a bit strange in the background. An announcement was then made that the 22nd Sun comic event was about to begin. Sakura was thrilled that the event was finally starting. She had priced her comic book, or manga, at 500 yen. Initially, Sakura was nervous, wondering if anyone would even come to her stall. Maria asked if she was okay, and Sakura replied that she was fine. At first, no one approached her stall, but then a customer arrived. The customer read the manga, liked it very much, and purchased a copy. Sakura was delighted to have made her first sale. Soon, a crowd gathered around their stall, and they actively promoted their manga. Their sales were very successful, partly because their cosplay was excellent, and Maria looked particularly awesome, cool, and beautiful, attracting many visitors. Finally, the event concluded, and they were all very happy. Sakura thanked Hinata and Maria, stating that she wouldn't have been able to achieve such high sales without them. She explained that their level of cosplay was unprecedented at the event, which had excited people so much. Sakura then praised Maria extensively and apologized, feeling she had gotten too excited. Maria told her there was no need to apologize, and that she was glad Sakura was happy. She then shared that meeting Sakura was a joy, because Sakura was her first friend in this world, and she loved spending time with her and helping her. Sakura was also very happy to hear this. Sakura then said that she had never had friends with whom she could share her hobbies, but she was very happy to have met all of them. A girl then approached Sakura, requesting a sketch, which Sakura happily accepted as an order. Maria then suggested that Sakura and Hinata should rest. Maria then told Hinata that wearing the outfit made her feel like their adventure life from their other world had been refreshed. Hinata agreed, saying she was absolutely right. He then reminisced about their past adventurous life, including how they had defeated the Demon Lord. He remarked that people in this world were very good and happy, just like he and Maria were happy together. He then suggested that they should take their relationship to the next level, implying their affectionate dynamic. However, Sakura interrupted them, apologizing and asking if they could help her again. With that, the episode ended. Episode begins with everyone successfully selling books. Suddenly, May and Cecily arrived, surprising Hinata, who asked how they came to be there. Cecily explained they were simply enjoying the festival. Cecily then questioned Hinata about his costume, causing him a bit of embarrassment. May suggested that he was likely cosplaying. Hinata apologized and then requested their help with the sales. They resumed selling books, this time with May and Cecily assisting. Sakura was very grateful for their help, and Hinata was also happy to see everyone enjoying themselves. They eventually sold all their books, which greatly pleased Sakura, as she hadn't expected to sell out. Cecily commented that the festival felt very different, and Sakura agreed, explaining it was a comic book event, similar to Comic-Con in their world. Maria congratulated Sakura on selling all the books. Sakura thanked Maria, acknowledging that it wouldn't have been possible without her. May began reading one of the books and recognized a character. Maria revealed that the character was based on her and designed by Sakura. May continued reading, impressed by Hinata's portrayal as a knight in the book. Suddenly, a lady named Endo approached Sakura. Endo, an editor for Takashibo, had been very impressed by Sakura's comic book and wanted to launch it on a larger scale. Sakura was surprised to hear this. Endo said she would contact Sakura again and then departed. Hinata and everyone else praised Sakura after Endo left, making Sakura feel incredibly good and as if she could achieve anything. May then suggested they take many pictures since everyone was in a good mood and they were all wearing their impressive cosplay outfits. Cecily, however, questioned if May had nothing else to do. Cecily, Maria, and Hinata began to leave. Cecily reprimanded Maria, saying that her actions were inappropriate and could draw unwanted attention, potentially causing problems. She continued to scold Maria, but Maria ignored her, clamping her hand over Hinata's mouth and subtly pulling him away. Cecily turned around to continue speaking, but realized they had vanished. Maria and Hinata were then shown in a different, secluded location. Maria remarked that she hadn't had the chance to spend time alone with Hinata in a long time, and was glad for the opportunity. She then told Hinata that she believed his older sister should help him. Hinata, however, questioned her, reminding her that they were in a public place with many people around. Maria reassured him that she had used her magic, making them invisible to others. She then expressed a desire to touch him more and suggested they should do those things. Maria, eager to begin, stated that she didn't know where to start. She then tried to unbutton Hinata's shirt, revealing he was wearing women's innerwear. Maria was surprised and commented that he looked very good. She then touched Hinata's chest, but Hinata protested, reminding her that he was a boy. Maria silenced him, telling him to just let her feel. Hinata, blushing deeply, said that she was doing something very wrong, but Maria ignored him, intent on having fun with Hinata. Hinata became even more embarrassed, realizing she wasn't going to stop. Before she could do anything further, Cecily arrived, causing Maria's face to contort in annoyance. Outside, there were many photographers and people taking pictures of the cosplayers. May then arrived, apologizing for being late. May took a group picture of everyone. Soon, more people approached, complimenting their cosplay and asking to take their pictures. They granted permission, even though it was revealed that their cosplay was actually their real appearance. Many pictures were taken, and everyone seemed to enjoy the experience. Hinata and Sakura stood to the side, with Sakura remarking that photo shoots were surprisingly difficult. She looked at the others, thinking they seemed to be having a lot of fun. Sakura then asked Hinata if something was wrong. They then noticed a man moving behind Maria with a hidden camera in his bag, clearly attempting to record her from behind. Sakura looked at Hinata, surprised. Hinata, visibly angry, confronted the man, demanding to know what he was trying to do. The cameraman, also angered, told Hinata to let him go. Hinata then revealed that he was a boy, not a girl. Everyone present was shocked by this revelation. Security guards then escorted the cameraman away. Sakura asked Hinata what had happened to him. Hinata apologized, saying he didn't understand. Sakura explained that it was the first time she had seen him so angry. Hinata confessed that he couldn't control himself when he saw the man recording Maria. Maria, now very happy, told Hinata that he was her hero. Sakura was also surprised to hear Maria call him a hero. As evening fell, they all started heading home, many of them feeling hungry. Sakura again spoke to Hinata, telling him that when he protected Maria from that man, she had seen a different side of him. She admitted she was a bit scared seeing him like that, but also thought he looked very cool. Hinata responded by saying, "Oh really?" and thanked her. Sakura then told him that Maria saw him as a hero, and from now on, she would also see him as a hero. Hinata was surprised and thanked her. Sakura was also very happy. Maria then interjected, asking them what they were doing and if they weren't going home. Sakura quickly went over to Maria, and they both started talking excitedly. Hinata was shown looking a bit upset. The episode concluded here. The episode begins with Maria calmly drinking coffee when a lady approached her, asking if she was interested in working in film or similar ventures and handing her a card. Maria then saw Hinata, quickly went to him, and they both left the area. Hinata asked Maria who the lady was, and Maria explained that the woman wanted to recruit her as a model. A shopkeeper from whom they usually shopped remarked that they both looked very good that day. Maria clarified that they weren't buying anything. Hinata thought to himself about how Maria had adapted to this world and its ways. As Maria and Hinata walked to school, everyone noticed them. Maria also observed this attention. Sakura approached them, asking if something was wrong. Maria said it felt very strange today. Sakura explained that the character Maria had portrayed in the last episode had become very popular. Maria then opened her locker, which was filled with love letters, making her even more distressed. Hinata also noted that she had been receiving an increasing number of them lately. Maria angrily burned the letters. Sakura suggested she should have read them, but Maria insisted they didn't matter because she only cared for Hinata and did everything for him. Hinata then asked if she didn't feel a little bad for the people who wrote them, as she didn't even read their letters. Maria stated that she didn't care. Hinata was the only one in her life, and she couldn't look at anyone else. She explained that there were two types of people in the world, Hinata and everyone else. Hinata thought to himself that Maria was becoming overly obsessed with him. Maria then declared that they should advance their relationship within the school to deter others from sending letters or looking at them in that way. Sakura subtly reminded them that she was also present. Hinata became extremely embarrassed and quickly left. A hidden individual was seen observing everything. During their sports class, they played various games. Sakura's gaze fell upon Maria, and she blushed, quickly covering Maria, who had gotten wet. The class ended, and the teacher instructed the helpers to collect the balls. Hinata was the helper for the day, which Maria noticed. A mischievous idea then sparked in her mind. Hinata was shown going into the storeroom with the balls. Maria then arrived, quickly closed the door, and immediately clung to Hinata. She said she finally had a chance to get close to him. Maria then pulled Hinata inside her t-shirt and commented that she smelled a bit strange, which she disliked. Hinata denied it, saying she always smelled lovely. Hinata was about to lick Maria's sweat, but then pulled back, apologizing. Maria told him there was no need to apologize, and that she had enjoyed it. Maria asked him to do it again, but Hinata, blushing, refused. He started to leave to change, but Maria became angry and used her powers. Funnily, Sakura arrived just then, opened the door, and Hinata escaped Maria's attack, but Sakura got caught in it. In the next scene, Maria was seen feeding Sakura and apologizing for what happened, telling her to eat the food. Sakura remarked that the lunch was really good. Maria revealed that Hinata had made it. Maria then sweetly asked Hinata to feed her too. Hinata hesitated, pointing out that there were many people around. Maria said it didn't matter to her. Hinata tried to make an excuse while Sakura watched Hinata. A girl then approached them, asking Maria for a favor. Her senior had come and wanted to speak with Maria briefly. Maria apologized to Hinata and Sakura and went with the girl. Sakura then commented that Maria seemed to be changing, becoming more friendly and popular, unlike before when she only stayed with Hinata. Sakura felt that Maria was now perfectly integrated into their world, as if she belonged there. Hinata, looking sad, agreed with her, gazing at Maria. Hinata and Maria started walking home, both tired. Maria said she would have dinner first when they got home. Suddenly, the hidden individual from earlier appeared. They asked him how they could help. The man, trembling, confessed that he liked Maria and that he had written all the love letters. He admitted he knew she liked someone else, but felt he still needed to express his feelings. He then asked if she would be his girlfriend. Maria became visibly angry, recalling burning the letters. Hinata was also worried about what she would do. Maria then politely refused, stating that she liked Hinata and loved him, so she couldn't accept the man's feelings. The man understood. Maria then left, telling Hinata to follow her. The man thanked them for listening to him. Maria sweetly told him not to give up and to keep trying. Hinata was surprised to hear this. Later, they had dinner at home. Hinata began washing dishes, appearing sad. Maria then came and hugged him from behind. She said she knew he was upset and why. He was afraid someone would steal her from him. Hinata initially denied it, but then admitted that Maria had changed and improved a lot, for which he was happy. However, sometimes he worried, and although he knew he was being foolish, he felt she was slowly drifting further away from him. Maria told Hinata not to say such things, and then jokingly acted as if Hinata was going to leave her and didn't love her. Hinata reassured her that it wasn't true. Maria then made a strange face and told him she knew how he could make her happy, by making her feel that they were one in body and soul. Hinata was in a difficult situation, feeling a mix of emotions. Maria told him he would have to work very hard to make her happy. Maria seemed to anticipate something significant was about to happen. However, Hinata simply kissed Maria's forehead and asked if that was enough. Maria became very angry, asking if he was crazy and if a kiss was all he thought was enough. She then grabbed his hand and placed it on an inappropriate part of her body, saying she felt a bit better now. Hinata was blushing profusely and was clearly embarrassed and scared. He quickly hid under his blanket, apologizing to Maria. Maria angrily told him she wouldn't let him go and that he needed to come to her immediately. Hinata was terrified. He then thought back to the letters and the man's proposal, realizing he needed to clearly express his feelings to Maria. The episode ended, hinting at the increasing emotional depth of the story, with Hinata's feelings now awakening and his growing insecurity.
The episode began with Hinata on a beach, where he was soon joined by the other girls, all wearing swimsuits. A flashback showed them walking home from school earlier, with Hinata preoccupied by the thought that Maria was changing. Maria was feeling the heat of the summer, and she and Sakura discussed how hot it was. Maria then tried to cling to Hinata, but he distanced himself, which made Maria angry. She asked why he was trying to ignore her. Hinata wondered why he couldn't get close to Maria, despite wanting to. Maria again tried to approach Hinata, but he again moved away. Maria then started to cry, accusing him of definitely avoiding her. Hinata denied it. Maria then challenged him, telling him to hug her to prove he wasn't ignoring her. Sakura observed them closely. Sakura then suggested that since they had a day off from school tomorrow, they should all go to the beach. She mentioned that the weather was perfect and they would have a great time. She added that she was sure Hinata would be smitten with Maria when she wore a swimsuit. Maria then imagined herself in a swimsuit, with Hinata becoming completely ready for anything with her. Maria then insisted that Hinata join them at the beach the next day. They finally decided to go, and Sakura suggested they also buy swimsuits. The scene shifted to the beach, where Mei and Sakura were making a vlog. Hinata was eating ice cream when Maria suddenly approached him, asking how he liked her swimsuit. Hinata told her not to do that, as there were many people watching them. Maria, however, said she didn't care about others and only wanted Hinata to look at her. She then asked how he would feel if he ate her. Hinata was confused. Maria then intentionally spilled some ice cream on herself and told him to taste it. Hinata blushed profusely, not knowing what to do. Maria then asked if he didn't like her swimsuit. Hinata denied it. Maria then showed him various swimsuits, using her magic. But Cecily broke her spell, telling her not to use magic there, and accusing her of trying to bother Hinata again. Maria retorted that Cecily was mean, and never missed an opportunity to bother them. The two then glared at each other, May suggested they play beach volleyball. Cecily refused, stating she would get sunburned. May reassured her that she had sunscreen. Maria agreed it was a good idea and looked at Hinata, telling him to apply sunscreen too. However, Hinata was nowhere to be seen. He was running towards the restroom, saying he would be back shortly. Maria, applying sunscreen, felt sad that Hinata wasn't paying attention to her, even at the beach. She wondered if Hinata disliked her, or would avoid her again. Sakura then told Maria not to think that way, as she believed Hinata and Maria were meant for each other. She reminded Maria that she had said she would never leave Hinata. Sakura admitted that Maria's words had truly inspired her, and that she shouldn't worry, as Hinata would soon be fine, and would express his feelings to her. Hearing this, Hinata felt good. May, who was applying cream to Cecily, spilled a lot of it. Sakura went to help them, but they all slipped and fell messily due to the cream. Maria laughed, seeing this, and other beachgoers looked at them, wondering about their antics. Hinata then arrived. In the next scene, they were all having a barbecue party. They commented on the good smell of the food, hoping it would taste good too. Cecily remarked that she was really enjoying the beach more than she had expected. Everyone was happy and eating, but Hinata was lost in thought. Sakura called out to him, but Hinata didn't pay attention. He then suddenly said he was thinking about something else. Maria was looking at Hinata, also appearing worried. An octopus then started bothering Sakura, and Cecily went to save her. It seemed they were about to eat a live octopus. Maria then looked at Hinata and took him away somewhere. Cecily wondered where they had gone, unable to figure out their sudden disappearance. They were then shown in a bathroom, where Maria asked Hinata why he was trying to avoid her. Hinata denied it. Maria then pressed him, asking if he truly wanted to come to the beach, or if he only came because she asked. Hinata was about to say something, but Maria interrupted him, saying she knew he would never hate her. She added that even if he did, he wouldn't avoid her like this. She knew something had been bothering him for a long time, and asked if it was related to her. Maria stressed that she couldn't stand to see Hinata troubled because of her, as he was her whole world, and she wanted to take care of him more than herself. She didn't care what happened to her, but she didn't want anything to happen to him. Hinata thought to himself that Maria spoke without thinking, but was very kind and pure-hearted. Hinata then apologized, saying he felt much better now. Maria was happy to hear this. Hinata then suggested they should go back, as everyone else was waiting for them. Maria then returned to her usual self and started being affectionate with Hinata, telling him he couldn't refuse her because he didn't hate her. Hinata admitted it was true, but still felt she shouldn't do certain things there. Just then, Cecily arrived at the perfect time, stating she knew she would find them there. They all then went to the river. May suggested they race in the water. Sakura was delighted to hear this. May quickly ran into the water to swim, followed by Cecily. Seeing their enthusiasm, Maria remarked that she wasn't surprised they had defeated the Demon Lord. Sakura then suggested they should go to Hinata. Agreed. They started walking towards the water, but they looked at Maria, whose face showed no excitement. Maria then said she had something to tell them. Hinata and Sakura asked what it was. Maria then revealed that she didn't know how to swim. Hinata and Sakura were both surprised by this. The episode concluded with this revelation. The episode began with Maria attempting to learn to swim, but she was struggling immensely. Maria complained, asking what the point of learning to swim was, when she could just use her magic in her real world. She then demonstrated by floating in the air. Hinata quickly told her not to do that, as it could expose her abilities to others. Maria, however, continued her mischievous antics. Later, Maria apologized to Hinata for having tried to dunk him earlier. Sakura then arrived, bringing a swimming tube and telling Maria she wouldn't need magic anymore. Maria thanked Sakura profusely. They all then enjoyed themselves in the water, played beach volleyball, and went on various water rides. A cute dolphin swam alongside them, and May was busy vlogging, capturing all the fun moments. As they were enjoying themselves, Maria accidentally almost fell into the water. Hinata quickly jumped in to save her, asking if she was all right and expressing his fright. Maria was pleased by his concern and again moved very close to Hinata, who became quite embarrassed. The others then called out to them, and Maria looked disappointed again. They rested for a while outside, and May suggested they go swimming again. Hinata looked a bit downcast. Maria told him not to be sad and encouraged them to go, saying she would watch from outside. Everyone else went swimming, while Maria slowly tried to swim with the help of the tube, though she wasn't doing very well. Sakura also tried to help her. A race was happening between the others, and Maria was far behind. Suddenly, a dolphin approached Maria, and for some reason, started helping her. Surprisingly, Maria, who was the furthest behind, won the race. The others were astonished and accused her of cheating by using the dolphin. The dolphin then playfully interacted with them before swimming away. They then noticed that Sakura's upper swimsuit top was missing, having fallen off in the water. Maria tried to locate it using her magic, but Cecily stopped her from using magic. Despite this, Maria still managed to find it with magic, realizing that the dolphin had taken the top. May and Cecily then tried to distract the dolphin, and he arrived at the right moment to retrieve the swimsuit top. Everyone was relieved that Sakura had been saved, and Sakura was very embarrassed. As evening approached, Cecily suggested it was time to go home. May agreed but said they would leave in a little while. Maria then told Hinata that the current view was beautiful and asked him to walk with her. Hinata asked her to wait a moment. Sakura then approached Hinata, telling him she had something to say. She revealed that she had noticed them together for a long time, and that whenever they were together, they smiled a lot and cared deeply for each other. She wished them good luck and told Hinata to take good care of Maria. Hinata thanked her and left. Sakura then thought to herself that she was truly foolish. Finally, Hinata went to Maria. Maria commented on how beautiful the scenery was. She then told him that, before she met him, when he had returned to this world, and she couldn't see him, she hadn't even believed she would ever see him again. Yet, her love for him never diminished. She came to this world and got to experience many things with him, learning about this place. She concluded that no matter where they were, she still liked him very much. "I love you, Hinata," she said, adding that she was happy she came to this world and met him. Hinata replied that he was happy she came to Hinata, then confessed to Maria, "Maria, I love you very much, and I never want you to be far from me. Yes, I know I am a human, and you are an elf, but despite that, I will put in all my effort. I will try my best to never see you sad." Maria was very shy and asked Hinata what he had said, and if he could please say it again. Hinata replied that he could say it continuously, and then he repeatedly said, "I love you." The atmosphere between them became very intense. Finally, they shared a real kiss, not a forced one like Maria used to initiate, but a genuine kiss. The scene then shifted to school, where Sakura was walking sleepily. Hinata and Maria were walking very close to each other. Hinata told Maria not to come so close, but Maria said it didn't bother her. Sakura greeted both of them good morning, and they returned the greeting. May was shown editing her vlog, and Cecily was seen entering the office, looking at the beach pictures and liking them. Sakura was busy with her artwork. Maria and Hinata were then shown. Maria told Hinata that the food was good, but now she wanted dessert. Hinata reminded her that they had already eaten pudding and asked if she didn't like it. Maria clarified that she wasn't talking about that dessert, but a different kind. Hinata understood and shyly told her she didn't need to do that. Maria asked why she shouldn't, then reverted to her usual self, saying she wanted many children and telling Hinata never to leave her. Hinata reassured her that she had nothing to worry about, as he couldn't imagine himself with any other girl. Maria was again overjoyed and started acting playfully crazy, declaring that she was losing control and wanted to do what a boy and a girl do. She then talked nonsense about building a whole family and having a dog at home. Hinata was surprised by all this. They then kissed. Hinata then reflected that he had seen a dark elf named Maria in another world, and now she lived with him in this world. He loved her very much, and she loved him too. He described her as pure-hearted and very cute. And with this, the season 1 of Dark Elf came to an end. Thank you so much for watching every video, for all your comments, your likes, and for just being an incredible part of this community. Your support means the absolute world to me, and it's what keeps me excited to bring you more amazing anime. If you enjoyed our time with Dark Elf, please make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything. I'm already looking forward to our next anime journey together. Until then, take care and goodbye.